Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dr. Drew Podcast, another episode of the Dr. Drew Podcast. Of course, we answer questions from our listeners, we listen to voice messages, watch your videos, look at some weird videos from the internet. In other words, the your mom's house videos they bring over here to torture me. We analyze comedians who are willing to come on the show, and today, none other than the great Tom Segura.
Hey, buddy.
Segura.
Hey, thanks for having me.
The crowd in the background. Thanks for having me. Thank you for letting me do this.
Oh, I'm super excited.
I thanked your wife. I'm thanking you. This is your brainchild, and whatever good or bad comes from it.
Dude, this was a natural fit.
Natural fit.
It was.
Me getting tortured by your mom's house.
I love that it's Dr. Drew After Dark.
Yeah, it's cool. We went through a few different names.
Yeah, we did.
What would Dr. Drew say? Or
yep.
Dr. Drew.
Put another finger in Dr. Drew.
Yeah, there was that.
But yeah, this is a good one. I think we settled on a good one.
Yeah, your wife asked me, speaking of put another finger in, her first thing was to go down this Brown Talk path.
Yeah.
I guess that's what, right? Next stop was Brown Talk, like right off the top. And she was like asking, what the diameter, what the, circumference should be of what goes up the shitter.
Wait, what should go up there?
Yeah.
Huh.
And what do you think? What's the biggest circumference?
I don't understand the question. You're saying, what is
I said the okay sign. What's the diameter?
Of the biggest thing?
Yeah, well, a healthy thing to go up.
Anybody's or someone in particular?
The average person, not Terry or somebody like that.
Yeah,
an experienced person.
I would think. I'd rely on you.
As
the doctor to.
I said the okay sign.
I know, but I would think that most people could handle more than that.
Could handle it, but may not be healthy.
Double anal happens all the time.
It does. Right? Yeah.
And then there's triple anal for like the real Hall of Famers, like the first ballots.
Yes.
But I guess okay is a
so
decent
funny,
choice.
We treated Mary Carey on Celebrity Rehab.
Did she have a fuck sleeve?
No, but she, she was a porn star and stuff. She's an alcoholic, and they had this on the original cut, and VH1 took it. And she's talking to me and my nurse. She was crying about how this is hard. She wouldn't choose to do this with people, and she was like, I wouldn't choose to put 3 penises in my ass. And we're all like,
whoa,
wouldn't choose.
Is it hard in those moments? Like, I'm not talking about Mary specifically, but when you're sitting with someone and they, maybe you just started treating them and they start saying some wild shit like that.
It isn't, because it's always in the context of pain.
Right.
And they're hurting because of it. Sometimes you wonder how you don't laugh, because some of the things they say are
outrageous.
Out of control. But in the setting of pain, no.
I saw this lady who had a prolapsed anus, rectum.
It's very common.
Very common?
Very common, yeah.
In just in life, in general?
Well, there's a whole genre of porn, prolapse porn.
Really?
You don't know this?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, my God.
I saw that there was a lady who had done a number of films, and she had a prolapsed anus.
They call it the rosebud or something?
Yeah, it fell out like a sleeve.
Yes, a sleeve, right.
And then she would, she continued to work in the industry, and it would fall out during her shoots.
So my former Loveline companion, Mike Cathwood, sends me these horrible videos with that stuff on all the time. He's fascinated by it. He's like, can't get enough.
Why do you think he loves it so much?
He says it's because he's just so fascinated that somebody would let that happen to themselves, then take pictures of it. And it is pretty weird. Yeah. And in my world, I just look at those videos and I think, that's a surgery. A big surgery,
yeah.
You don't just you got to go in and repair the whole setup down there. It's a major surgery.
So you shouldn't be doing double anals.
Should not be doing double anals. Should not be prolapsing your anus. Tom.
Why don't you put that message out there more?
I'm doing it now. That's why we're doing this show.
How about your first shirt? You shouldn't be doing double anal. And then signed Dr. Drew.
I think, I'm not sure it should be that, or you shouldn't be prolapsing your anus.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't prolapse your anus.
Yeah. Oh my God, what's happening to me? What happened to my life? Are you sure this is going to be okay?
It's going to be great.
Let's take some, it's time for us to do some fan questions. You can email us your questions at drdrewafterdark@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Also leave a voicemail at 818-253-1693. Hey, my girlfriend is allergic to cats. What would happen if I rubbed my boner in a cat and then had sex with her? Thanks.
What?
Jeans. Thanks, Jeans. Dylan
Yeah.
From Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first of all, I would say this is a pretty cool guy to start with. So he wants to rub his dick on a cat.
On a cat, because
and
his
then
girlfriend's allergic to the
him.
cat. Just to test.
Yeah.
You were test how static electricity worked. You kind of go up to the person.
I gotta say, I'm not mad at him. I think it's like this would be a fun thing.
Party trick. I think see if you can create anaphylaxis in your girlfriend.
I'm hoping he's in college. Let's just say that, because if he did it in college, I'd be like, that's pretty good, pretty funny thought and experiment. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Anaphylaxis, death.
I mean, how serious are they? You know,
it's pretty rare though for that to happen, Tom.
Anaphylactic shock.
Yeah, to your point, it'd be pretty rare. Sorry to bum your high, but
I'm just saying, like, there's a good chance she won't die. So I guess what you're saying is for him to do it.
But he's looking for an allergic reaction in the vaginal cuff. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
That's kind of cruel, don't you think?
It's a little cruel, but I mean, just a little pussy sneeze or something is not, it's not like that bad, right? Like,
here's a serious question.
Okay, I guess we're moving on.
We are moving on.
Okay.
I'm just scared where you're going with this.
Okay.
Was there something more to be said? Pussy sneeze, I thought put a nice coat on it.
It's your second shirt.
I'll take it. That's done. That's done. Mm-hmm. Do pee boners exist? I often wake up with a rock hard Terminator gun, go pee, and then it's all gone. What happened there? Did the piss fill my dick to maximum?
That's not right.
No.
That's not.
These are your.
That's not another doctor writing that, right?
No. And the release of urine, bring it back to the mess it once was. So he thinks his
urine,
that urine fills up his penis.
That's not how the anatomy works.
No,
even I know that.
But it's also not the pee that makes the boner so much.
What makes the pee the boner?
Well, there's several things that cause the boner. The stretch on the bladder is one thing. It triggers a spinal reflex that causes the
So in a way, his necessity to pee is causing the boner. Right?
In a way, the stretch on the bladder, the sleep cycling has boner cycles associated with it. The sleep boner, shirt number 3.
Yes. So far, you're killing the shirt game.
Stretch on the bladder causes a spinal reflex, and also the sleep boner, sleep cycle boner. And then there's the congestion of that region, so things don't return. The venous flow is.
Can we go back to the first thing you said?
The stretch on the bladder.
So the bladder is full.
Yeah.
And because it's full,
it triggers a spinal reflex.
What's a spinal reflex mean?
Like when you tap your knee and your knee moves, it's just an automatic reflex.
So it's hitting the.
It just causes the stretch is what triggers the boner.
Oh, so but the spine receiving that pressure.
Yeah, the stretch, not the pressure.
The stretch.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's the pressure.
It's then saying, "Hey, boner."
Have a boner. Yes.
Really?
Boner up.
Is there not also because
shirt number 4?
Amateur, mind also thinks that I don't know. I guess we've read or heard that testosterone's high in the morning, and then that
there are those kinds of cyclings, but I'm not sure that it has much to do with it.
What's sleep cycle causing a boner mean?
I don't know. I just know there's certain cycles in the sleep when it's associated with more likely to have tumescence. Yeah, it's just your autonomic nervous system is going through these cycles, and your heart rate goes up.
I still wake up hard, and I try to
celebrate it.
I try to get her to service it a lot, and she rejects it a lot.
You have to go. She knows it's a pee boner, though, right?
No. I'm saying I'm just like wake up, like let's party
in the middle of the night.
No,
in the morning,
like AM,
morning,
and she's just
there's the other problem, which is in a couple there's sort of peak times a day when people are receptive to this activity.
Yeah,
are you off cycle with one another? I am with my wife completely.
Yeah,
men offer morning.
I like morning. Yeah,
women not so much.
She likes nighttime,
or afternoon and nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, why don't you get somebody else for nighttime?
What was God thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
He should just, I don't know, given us our own morning cum dogs.
Or Terry figured it out, didn't he?
Terry's the man.
You like Terry?
Now, I did not see your episode with Christina.
Yeah, we talked about Terry.
You talked about Terry.
Yeah.
She and I had a disagreement about him.
You love Terry.
Well, I think he's awesome.
Well, we'll get to this.
Okay.
Let's do a couple of voice messages.
Oh, let's do some. Okay.
Well, first voice message. Here we go.
Hey, Dr. Drew. This is Brandon from Florida. Quick question. how come every time I take a poop, my eyes water? Just some thoughts.
Well, it's interesting.
Thanks.
Okay. So his eyes water. Also, your nose can run, too.
Every time he takes a poop?
He takes a poop. We had a guy, Christine and I dealt with a guy who every time he pooed, some semen came out.
Wait, of his asshole?
No, of his penis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I have an explanation for that.
The asshole?
Yeah.
Somebody had to put it in.
Yeah,
somebody had to put it in for that to happen. But yeah, again, we can consult Terry about that. But it is because the seminal vesicles fill up with semen. Sometimes you can push and or the prostate. Yeah.
This is a common thing?
Yeah.
That some people come a little bit
Yes.
every time they shit?
Yes.
Fuck.
Especially if, I'm so glad I can make you happy. Especially when they haven't had an orgasm for a long time. Because the seminal vesicles, because people, kid around as though the testicles are what produce semen. They do not. They produce sperm cells that then leak into the semen, little tiny cells. The semen is produced by the prostate gland, and the poop is right there at the prostate gland, and the seminal vesicles are between the prostate and the poop. So you push on that if you have a big poo.
Building this set was worth that explanation. That was one of the best things I've ever heard in my life.
Tom?
And we got to reach out to people that come when they shit, because that is a whole subcategory.
It's a genre.
Yes.
But the shirt is, the next T-shirt is thus. Farts don't push the poo. Poo pushes the semen.
Yeah,
Okay?
I like it.
Okay. Good.
Poop makes you come. there you go. This guy said his eyes
water. You can get a dilation. People sneeze and stuff too.
Yeah.
They get dilatation of It's just your autonomic nervous system reacting to the stretch.
I read this interesting fart analysis about why we're so repulsed by the smell of somebody else's, but not so much ours.
Okay.
And it's that I don't know the science behind the correct terminology.
Yeah.
But something about the brain, when you know you're about to fart, your brain alerts you that some part of your brain
bad's coming.
Yes, and so that you're like, you somewhat expect this. But when it's a stranger's, that message doesn't happen.
That makes sense to me that some part of it is the surprise element, because surprise is like yuck surprise.
Yeah.
But there's something about the becoming accustomed to. I think you become accustomed to like your spouse's smells and things.
Yeah.
You become accustomed to it's more of a conditioning, of ourselves to ourselves, and I think it's how we probably as humans like tolerated each other when we didn't bathe and stuff, and we had to be with one person all the time.
Do you think about that sometimes, about what hundreds of years ago, what body odor must have been like?
Thousands of years
or
ago.
thousands,
It would have been unbelievable.
Just
unbelievable.
Horrific.
Forget just the shit caked on people's assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
and just walking around with it and then getting intimate with someone like that.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
And everyone was like, this was the best night of my life.
Oh.
Like, what?
Oh.
I know. I mean, they just threw a family off a plane. It was in the news. A family of 5 or something.
Smelled, for
body odor.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking like, man, I've traveled to places where hygiene is not that, celebrated.
Cleveland.
Yeah. Midwest, Kansas City, Omaha. But I mean, you go at some of these places and you're like, man, imagine, like you said, hundreds or thousands of years ago.
It's unbelievable. It just, and again, that's what tells you.
Or like even the Victorian era when everyone had like tights on top of tights.
And then the only thing they would do is powder their like head.
Oh my
it's
God.
One of the theories that I've heard is that those gigantic collars that like the Dutch had was like to collect skin and the lice and things so it didn't get to their body. It's like,
man.
Yeah. And
bathing was like, looked down like bathing was gross for some reason.
Yeah, it was like something you wouldn't do.
Yeah.
You're losing some of your essence. Yeah, and that's how I know we can become accustomed to things.
Yeah.
Because if it is as intense as I would experience that now, being virgin exposed to that, you wouldn't be able to get through the world. You'd be walking around vomiting all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Next voice message.
Hi, Dr. Drew. My name is Alejandro. I'm 31 years old. I want to get some advice on how to deal with anxiety and stress without like use of pills or drugs. I'm not depressed. I'm a very happy person. I have a very happy family, and a lot of good things are happening in my life. But I'm always feeling stressed and full of anxiety. I feel I overthink things and I overanalyze stuff all the time. And I've been having headaches and palpitations for a few weeks now. I want to get some advice on how I could deal with this. I want to start feeling better. I'm kind of don't know how to deal with it right now. Thank you.
Well, let me give you Tom Segura. He's very...
Well, first of all, I would say get into painkillers like opioids.
You said no pills. No pills.
Jerk off like 6 times a day. Help you chill.
It's one way. It's one way. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had to like really like...
I have jerked it a lot, but not in a while, man.
But to use it as an anxiety tool?
Not really. I have a friend who like, so for instance, I hate jerking off before a show. Huh. You know, I've done it before.
Because you all that shame and guilt on you when you walk out there?
No, you would think that. Yeah. It's just that it takes like, I don't need to feel like
tired
down.
Before. Yeah, I see.
No,
yeah.
So I'd like to save it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a fighter.
I like a pre-show run and a little workout because it makes me feel alert and alive.
I get that.
I've done the jerk off to go to sleep. I've been like, I'm laying here. Yeah. I would say, from my perspective, to speak seriously to Alejandro, I think that's what he said.
Alejandro,
is that like for me, besides the obvious thing of like talking to somebody, I think that a really effective thing is breathing techniques.
Oh, nice. Good for you. That's good.
I think those are
anything
effective.
particular you should look into?
No, you can just YouTube them.
The mindfulness stuff. Yeah, there's lots of stuff out there. So that's good.
And meditation type of stuff.
100%. That's a great piece of advice. I would argue that exercise, another piece of advice.
Fantastic.
Adequate sleep. Watch your caffeine intake if you're one of those people that is sensitive to caffeine. Nutrition, just sort of structure to your life.
Yeah.
And it's funny though to hear him talk about it. It didn't sound like a psychiatric symptom because he said, "I'm happy, I'm productive, I'm happy." It's just I think you
nailed the one that I do the most is that and here's the thing, I don't do it consistently enough, which is what I criticize myself for.
Okay.
And that is that I always feel like I am so much more at peace and happier and content and just overall in a better place when I'm working out consistently and eating a fairly clean diet.
It goes a long way.
But then you deviate. Like you know that it has this effect.
I truly, because the life comes in on your travel and stuff. Yeah. But I always try to do that. I always also try to listen to either podcast or music, so I'm kind of meditating when I work out. Very helpful. Just long walks, running. Yeah, very helpful.
Even a nice casual long walk can clear your mind.
And then sometimes, I'm just, relating to the way Alejandro made me feel and what he sounded like. It sounds like you don't have a lot of support. And so having important people you can talk to, people that care about you, spend a little extra time working on your relationships might go a good distance.
Can I tell you another one? This one just comes to mind in general for me. I give Ari Shaffir actually a lot of credit for, he's just always bringing it up. And that is that like we can get so into our phones, social media.
Oh yeah.
And I definitely find my anxiety levels go up when I'm consumed by it.
Yep.
And I definitely feel them going down when I'm not. I also feel my anxiety levels going down when I'm reading and just like reading something engaging, entertaining versus always looking for a show or something like that.
Great advice. And you and I cannot fully appreciate just how much those screens affect people that have been raised with them.
Oh my God.
It's just awful. I really believe in the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to look at screens the way we looked at tobacco.
Really?
I think so. For not for everybody, but for adolescents and young adults. I just think they're going to go, no, this is bad for your brain.
Yeah.
You just can't do this. And it's very, very concerning. All right. So I want to get into the videos, the crazy clip from your mom's house. But,
wait, there's one thing though, right? First is that you were on your mom's house to basically introduce this, the idea of this show.
Yes.
And one of our producers, who's also a great comedian.
Yes.
Josh Potter was on.
And he told us a very interesting story. We will hear a recap of the story and a follow-up after we take a little break.
Okay.
All right, we're back. Again, this is one of the premiere episodes of Dr. Drew After Dark. I'm so privileged that Tom and Christina has let me join them on their platform here. And again, check us out, review us on iTunes. Check us out at youtube.com/yourmomshousepodcast. It drops Friday at noon. The video does. And we were talking about the last time I was on the Tale of Woe we heard from one of your producers.
So first of all, when I told him that we were going to start working with you and that you were coming on, he was like, "Oh, I I actually had a small interaction with Dr. Drew once. And I was like, really? What? And then he goes, he was working the board because he worked in radio forever. Right. And he said that he spoke to you. He told you live when you were here. He goes, he told you that he experienced delayed ejaculation.
Right. Common thing.
And that your response was like, oh boy, another delayed ejaculation call.
Well, I probably read it on the screen before. Right. Here we go again with delay. No, you know what I probably said? I probably went, oh my God, haven't people heard me enough talk about how to deal with this? Here
probably.
we go again.
Yeah, but guess what? He smashed recently, and we should get the full update on it.
Okay, we need that. There he is.
Josh.
Yes.
So, Josh, where were you aboard operating in Syracuse or something?
In Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo.
Yes.
And here's the thing that I didn't understand, by the way. When he told you, I thought what he was saying was, hey, I have this thing where I can't finish every time. You know what I mean? Like
I heard him say delay all the time.
Okay.
Yes.
But to my ear, it was like, oh, so in my mind, well, he gets laid or he hooks up. Like every once in a while he doesn't finish. And then he's like, no, I've finished like 3 times in my life.
In my life.
I was like, what? I didn't realize it until afterwards.
Oh, I heard him.
I didn't know
though
that.
That's a rather severe situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I probably
Would
didn't
you
say.
straight
now
up,
they're all getting to know each other, I could tell him, but man, dude.
Would you encourage him to get into the adult business? And be
because one thing my friend Ron Jeremy, acquaintance Ron Jeremy told
the
me
kid's
once.
godfather. Yes, go ahead.
No, he used to come on Loveline all the time, and Ron's a very nice guy. And he was saying, and we'd query him about his profession, and he said, no, it's not even so much about duration. It's that you have to do it on command.
Oof.
You have to be able to go, all right, now. And there you go.
And then finish.
And then they're pissed if it's, takes even more than a...
Oh, so he'd be fired quickly.
He'd be losing his job, yeah.
Yeah, but he would be able to perform without finishing, which is a good thing, right?
No, apparently not. Maybe it's good for life, for if you have a partner that's into that kind of thing.
That's
so
true.
there's been an update, right?
Tom mentioned that I had sex. I mean, the same old outcome occurred.
Wait, did this?
I'm sure the young lady appreciates this conversation. But go ahead.
Well, we didn't get a description. I don't know if it was guy, girl, but
that's fine.
When you hooked up with this individual, they didn't know your issue beforehand, right?
Oh, no. That's been an ongoing thing.
Why did you bring it up?
Explain.
You need to explain it because people blame themselves.
Oh my God. And then you make it their mission is to make you come.
Well, sure.
And they're doing they're like, I'm going to spit in your ass. I'm going to fucking hold you. Like they start doing crazy shit to you. And then you're like, see, you can't make me come either. And you give them a complex. That's what you want to do, dude.
In a relationship, I've brought it up in a serious situation, but when it's like
you gotta bring it up for your
situation.
You gotta bring it up on your next hookup, and you gotta make it like a challenge to her.
I would argue, other than for exploiting your partner, you ought to bring it up because they will blame themselves. They always do.
That's happened.
Always happens. Even if they don't make a big issue of it, they always go, if I were more attractive, if I weren't so fat.
But isn't that the thrill?
No, to go ahead and lay the gauntlet down and say, go ahead and try. That's good, but you got to be honest about it.
Be honest about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been faring decently well for me in the fact that I don't have any children.
That's good.
Wait,
There's
now,
no pre-cum
is there
then.
this thing? Is there the thing where, like, let's say you realize you're going to do it, right? Like, you're talking to the girl, then you get back to the room or the Winnebago, and you go, all right, it's time. Like, and then your body and your mind,
the tent.
Yeah, the tent. Your body and your mind realize it's going to happen. In your mind is one of your thoughts like, "Oh, I'm not going to finish." Like,
it makes it worse. It's like almost like a stage fright.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're building, and now it's going to get worse.
Yeah. Well, when you're honest about how you're feeling, it diminishes anxiety usually. So you could just say, "Hey, I have this thing. Just prepare for it." And
oh my God, I would be ear to ear smile saying this.
I can understand if you didn't have it that you would feel that way, and maybe he can adopt that sort of an attitude at some point. But so it didn't go so well this time.
Well, I'll say this: I have brought it up to women in the past.
Yeah,
and some have been real gamers about it. I'll tell you that.
Those are the ones that
real
Tom
gamers.
likes.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I become detached and I don't even, it's it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like
You give up.
Yes, exactly.
But you have no trouble sustaining
crazy.
your erection, though, yeah?
No, not at all.
The whole
Okay,
time.
so that's good.
Now, wait, when you hooked up most recently, was she like, are you going to finish or what? Like, is there anything like that?
Some of them, the real savages don't give a shit if I finish.
Really?
They want to finish.
Yeah.
So I'm good at that part. I just am a servant.
Right.
Savages.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the ones that care, they get in their own head, you know, sometimes.
Sure.
It's one way or the other. They're like, yeah, you didn't finish. What's wrong? And I'll
You
try
like
better
guys or
next
something?
time.
They do something like that or no?
Well, dude, enough of the people since we've discussed it on the show, they're like, maybe he's gay.
Oh, yeah.
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, I know.
Wouldn't that be nice? So let me a few more questions. You said no medication last time, right?
No medication.
And no any neurological problems of any type? I mean,
Not that I know of.
And anything else quirky about your physiology?
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot.
Well,
I haven't been told anything.
no, nothing diagnosed.
Hey, when was the last time you had a physical?
7 years ago.
All right, but nobody's diagnosed anything. It wouldn't be a bad
Depression, anxiety, that kind of
idea.
thing.
Okay, and does emotion figure into this at all? Do you think? Because
Probably.
sometimes it's people theorize that it's being unwilling to be fully forthcoming and giving of yourself and open and intimate. I don't put much on that really. I really think some people have a clock that's quick and some people have a clock that just takes forever.
Wow.
I've run the gamut as far as
And let me
if I
be
give a shit
honest,
or not.
with my prostatectomy after my clock changed.
It did.
It changed for the better. and nothing I can do about it. It's just that's the
changed.
biology. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was a personal experience that would confirm my belief about this. I mean, your clock is your clock.
But don't we just need to get him with a real animal, I feel like.
Well, he's had savages, he said.
Wow.
Well, that's what I'm hoping that
But those are street savages. Let's get him with an LA savage, you know.
I'm hoping that the prescription is a smoke show.
Yeah.
You just like, I prescribe you one
super
smoke show.
hot chick, you know.
Yeah.
Like some chick who like his dick just starts leaking when he sees her.
Like,
you know,
drooling.
Yes. and then she's like, "Do you think?" And then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Okay.
And then it's
all
over.
right. Well, sure. That's always a good prescription if somebody's really.
I think
into
I think it's a good thing we should try.
Okay, so people are going to be calling in. Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah, I guess they can hit him up on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
At @J_Potter. Hit it up if you're a smoke show only.
Oh, only.
My God.
Hey, by the way, if you're like, I'm an 8, don't fucking bother. All
Don't
right?
you dare.
He is not
Waste
interested.
my time.
All right, let's get some videos in here. What do you got for us?
Take a quick break.
Oh, no. Another break? We did a break.
I got to set up.
Oh. Well, let's take a little break so you can set up. And welcome back. We're here with the great Tom Segura, and we're going to get into our video segment now where we analyze some of your crazy videos from your mom's house. And it's usually Dr. Drew torture. That's usually what this segment
It is. I mean, that's the
fun of it.
That's the dream usually.
Torture and the dream.
The hope.
All right, let's set up this gentleman here. What do we got?
What's up on my Instagram heads? I'm on a roll today because women are fucking stupid. Okay? They're fucking stupid. Okay? I don't understand why it's so difficult for good guys to meet a fucking sane woman. I don't understand why every woman's a fucking stupid idiot. I don't understand it. I just don't. Do you understand we are in the situation we are in because woman ate the apple? It is woman's fucking fault. Give me back my fucking rib and go back to where the fuck you came from. Alright? Because it's bullshit. Women are stupid. Women are ridiculous. How can you ask for a relationship when you fucking got your garbage in your backyard? Get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
Well, Sir Walter Raleigh.
yeah.
Yes, it's a man of great dignity. And what's going on in the background there?
Well, there's a doll
A couple of dolls
over
aren't
his
there?
right shoulder, and then there's another type of doll over his left shoulder.
That almost weirds me out more than he.
He kind of looks like a caveman.
Oh, yeah. No, not kind of like a caveman. He looks exactly like the Geico caveman in the commercial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so we're dealing with Geico. He has, if you look over his right clavicle there, that is sort of the kind of scar you get from having like IV shit in your neck. Like this dude's either he's shooting in his neck or he's had some major medical stuff. Where he's,
Really?
like, in an ICU for long
I
periods of
actually
time.
watched this and a little more of it, and I was like, hey, just with like the movement or lack thereof, I was like, this dude could be like in a wheelchair. Maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense with
would?
all that stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. He's like he's seated or something.
Yeah.
You
He
like
also-
him? You think he's cool?
He seems like a super cool guy.
Yeah.
But he seems a little upset about women.
A little bit.
And
He reminds me of the guy that shot up Santa Barbara.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's how people get going like this. It's
right, because that kid was like, he hated women. That's right.
They hate women. They don't like me. And people get thinking this way.
Because that kid made a video and he was like, I guess like they're all too good for me.
Whatever.
What is like? But guys like that. I mean, obviously, way before he takes it to the extent of something crazy violent. What do you recommend to dudes who are like, just chicks don't like me? What do I do? Like, you know what I mean? Like when they're kind of like railing against.
It's usually something else. You know what I mean? Women are very sensitive to when there's something like they don't like people that are depressed and anxious, and they like to fix people. They don't like to take care of a invalid, emotional invalid, that is. And so these people need like help. They need. That's all I see is just somebody supporting them, somebody getting them.
Do you think that he makes a good point though
about the apple and the rib?
No, just that a lot of women are fucking stupid. Like, do you think he's right?
I just thought of Cardi B.
Oh, really?
Give me back my rib.
Oh, yeah.
Give me back my money.
Give me back my money, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He's like a male Cardi B.
I think he would be honored to receive that blessing from you.
As much as some of your other accolades, yes.
Yeah.
Be a cool dude and a caveman.
A cool caveman guy.
Yeah.
But some women are fucking stupid.
Some men are fucking stupid, yes.
But let's focus on chicks for a minute, man.
Let's focus on them.
How dumb are some of them? Right?
Let's go to the next video. Yeah? Next video?
I don't know. I mean, he's just trying to fuck. He says in this video, he's like, well, how come some chicks just don't want to bang, you know?
I know, that's pretty stupid, huh?
That's so dumb of them. Like, they could just sleep with him and they'd be fine.
All over you. He'd be perfect.
He does seem a little upset. Something's wrong with him, I think.
I think so. Well,
do you think that's a drug thing too with him?
That's what I wonder. Sometimes it's injection stuff and that clavicle thing.
Really?
Yeah. It does occur to me that it could be a drug thing, but so many of your videos are of healthy people.
It's one of our focuses is like it's just a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, and so it's hard for me to distinguish people that are healthy.
Do you know? Do you want to know something kind of funny?
Oh, Terry.
Is that we were sponsored for a while by the New Yorker?
What?
Yeah.
Till they found out what they were sponsoring?
I think so.
Oh my God.
It's like when they came in, I was like, nah. And I spoke to my ad people and I was like, the New Yorker. And they were like, they turned down everybody we pitched them but you guys. And I was like, do they know
probably
about
thought it was a parenting show?
I think they thought it was a parenting show. And then one time somebody, like a parenting, I won't say, but a big parenting company was like, we're all on board, we're ready. And we're like, do you know what this is about? They're like, yeah. And they kept saying yes, that they were clear on it. Oh. And then we were like, well, this guy's going to put something in his ass in the episode.
Let me show you Terry. Let me show you Terry. He's one.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, I think that I just have a real
elevated sense of humor. Like
it's sophisticated, obviously.
Yes.
But I think too, like for instance, you say in front of Christina, I had to take a big shit earlier, and she'll just start laughing. Right.
Well, she said that you guys bonded on crazy shit that you laughed at.
Well, that's
most
true.
people don't laugh at.
That's true, but there's if you want to get into the details of it, it definitely varies. It's definitely different.
So there's if you were to graph it, there'd be a spike around brown talk
for her,
not for you
sure.
so much.
No.
Oh.
So for me, I think it's like, for instance, I enjoy those conversations and those talks too. Somebody's like, whatever, a fart story, shit story.
Yeah, that's always funny.
I'm always in.
What's not funny about that?
But
right?
she gets tears.
Okay.
So there's something in her wiring where like you talk
to get
about
her back in here under the microscope.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
For me, that same thing exists. That level of hysteria for things sexually related.
But macabre sexually related.
Yeah, and the more deviant it is, the harder I laugh.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the more it upsets someone, that's when it really gets me going.
But
I know what that's tied to. I think that's tied
psychopathy
to
again. We're just both here with psychopaths.
No. I think that is tied to I still do get a thrill out of upsetting my mother.
Do you have a brother?
No.
No, it's your mom.
Yeah.
So it's pulling the pulling her hair kind of thing. You know,
I mean, to this day, if you like belch in front of her, she gets upset. I laugh. If you say something like the more horrific the thing is that I'm describing,
is there
to her,
something about her reaction that's especially humorous?
Yes.
What is it about her reaction?
Well,
other than it's funny when mom's.
she has so much disapproval.
Oh yeah,
and she's a funny accent. She's very animated.
it's weird how
So
both
the
your
whole
parents
experience.
have funny accents.
Yeah, it's true.
Isn't
it's
that
true.
weird?
Yeah, she's very animated.
What's her accent?
She's Peruvian, so she has a Spanish accent.
Right.
And
so it's the disdain that's so funny.
It's so funny to me, and I still love upsetting her. I still love her disapproval.
Do you think she's hiding with that disdain a little laughter of her own? Like she's
In
kind of laughing
certain
inside and
cases.
has to express the disdain? Or is it really, she just is very
And
grossed
most of
out?
the time, she's very, very upset.
So
for real.
is it upset or grossed out? Disgusted?
Both.
So
a lot of times she'll express her disappointment. Like I told her
she
that
disappointed you, but that's not funny.
it makes me laugh when she's revolted and disgusted. Like
Yeah, disgust is the thing, right?
right.
And not disappointment.
Well, that's true. I guess it's the disgust that's funnier.
yeah,
that's true.
And so when was the first time you just fully disgusted your mom that you found to be funny?
When I learned how to say certain, I think, curse words in Spanish, because that's her native language, and I was
Yes.
learning it.
Yeah.
And I just went and I started just yelling all the bad
So
words I could.
mierda, that
and
got her.
all that stuff. She got really mad.
Well, that's mad. That's not disgusted.
That's true.
Did you laugh when she got mad?
Yeah, I laughed, and then she spanked me, and I laughed harder.
Uh-oh.
And then she pinched me, and that fucking hurt.
Pinched you?
Yeah, she took her nails and she twisted my, because she saw that I wasn't hurt by the spanking.
I'm going to give you such a pinch.
Yes, a pinch. I was like, "Ah, fuck!" And then that was the punishment.
Pinches are funny,
That hurt though.
but it's funny.
Is it?
It's funny.
I guess. Well, I guess see the visual of it.
Just saying it. I'm going to give you such a pinch.
Yeah. Well, she didn't say it either. She was like frustrated that she didn't get me
with the spanking. Did
yeah.
she generally hit you, or was that
No. That was like
spanking.
a special kind of.
for saying bad words? In
Yeah, it was
Spanish?
like
And for some reason, for you, then it was game on.
Well, I'm trying to think of specific incidents. I remember, like she would be like, especially like in a lot of those Latin cultures, they really have pretty impressive manners around, the dinner table. If you spend time in like Latin households, it's usually very proper formal the way you eat, and like you could tell a lot about a family. Like it's not wealth; it's like the family.
Yeah.
By the behavior
Yes.
of the kids,
So
right?
the status was determined more by the behavior than by what they had or something.
Exactly. So
Did you see Roma?
I didn't.
Okay.
Is it good? No.
But it'll be interesting for you because it has a lot of those stuff.
Do you think Ted Bundy's as bad a guy as that doc is saying?
I do. That kind of went through my head a few times. Like,
Yeah.
is he getting framed or something? Is he just?
Where's his story?
He eventually. You didn't see the whole thing, evidently.
No, I watched the whole
He
thing.
comes clean at the end there.
He said he cut like one girl's head off.
Yeah, that was sort of where I jumped the shark for me. Not the video, but so much
Yeah.
my doubts about him.
Yeah, I think we might have gotten the wrong guy. But I feel like, I still love telling my mother a horrific thing to wait for her disgust. You know what I mean?
So why would disgust?
I don't, when she's like, "Ay, por favor, please stop me," please, like that, I just start laughing.
It is funny.
It is funny.
And you're
or like I'll talk to her and I'll just like I'll go like, I'll burp, and she's like, "I please," and like I know that she's like,
it feels
why?
like. Was she able to like deal with babies and baby diapers and things like that?
Yeah, she was okay with that. I feel like when she
Does she take care of your kids?
she doesn't. Well, she lives on another coast.
But she never sees your kids, or no?
Yeah, but it's just like it's not that frequently.
But she's
no,
not
she's
weird
fine
about-
with like she's fine with changing diapers and stuff. But like, I'll still walk into a room like, "Mom, check this out," and I'll fart, or I'll belch loudly, or I'll say like something on the news, like there'll be like a cartel murder, and I'll be like, "Oh, they stabbed these notes into people." Like, and then they made everybody watch them die, and she's like, and I'm like, I know, it's pretty crazy, right? Like, because I just watch her reaction.
Did your dad do the same thing to her?
No. She would really voice her disapproval.
Does she
to him.
rage? Is she a rageful person?
She has some rage to her, yeah.
So sometimes there can be a little fieriness to.
Oh yeah, to her for sure.
Yeah. Is this a way of deflecting that? Maybe
that's an interesting. I'd never thought of that. That's totally possible. Yeah.
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 So to try to you saw the rage in there, didn't want to have anything to do with that, but you can connect with her over disgust.
Yeah.
It also put you in control a little bit.
That is true, because then you're driving the
boat, but you're also deflecting from anything serious, because now you're laughing, and
that's true.
And now she gets angry, but she's not really angry. It's
That's
sort of
true.
feigned anger. It's
That's
not
true.
the ragefulness, unless she's going to give you a pinch.
A pinch. A fucking pinch hurts, man.
You have siblings? I
have two sisters.
Yeah. And they didn't. I wonder, did you make fun of them and make them disgusted?
Yeah, I try to do disgusting things to them.
They're just not as funny when they react.
Yeah, I mean, one of my sisters has less of a reaction to it. The older sister, she was like, "That's kind of cool." She's a real fucking animal, though.
Oh, so there's some Segura trait.
Yeah. And then my dad's a fucking savage, but he dials it down to he doesn't talk about it
Unless you're in the house.
If it's me, then he'll be like, he's like, it's just a little bit of shit on my shirt. I'm like, dude, no one says it's just a little bit of shit.
So his Browntown humor was just sort of...
he's the most comfortable with that.
Matter of fact.
Which is so funny to me, because he's so comfortable. He's not even like, hey, you want to hear something gross?
Yeah.
It's like, this is just...
It's just happening.
What I had for lunch kind of story.
Yeah.
And then she is like, I never want to hear anything about that.
Is that now he's saving it for you because he doesn't get to do it around his wife? Or do you think maybe he throws a few punches at her if he lands a few?
I don't know. I really feel like he's pretty well trained to not float any of that stuff by her for entertainment.
So even though he'd like to,
maybe, but she's so not amused by it. But with me, he used to call me and be like, literally, I'd be like, hello. He's like
his brown humor was breaking out. He had to release it somewhere.
It wasn't even humor. Was the part where he would go, I would just go, hello.
I'd tell you about a big shit he just took.
I took a this is how it started. He'd be like, just took a shit, and there was no paper in the stall, so I had to get up, kind of waddle over to the next stall, use some paper there, but then some of it splashed on my cheeks, so I had to go get some wet wipes and then clean that.
This is his opening volley?
This is not even high Tom? Not even high Tom. And I go, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, I love you, buddy. I got to go, okay? Like that. And then just hung up the phone. And I'd be like, what was that? And then that was just his story.
Love you. It was his I love you.
Yeah.
I had shit hanging out.
Yeah.
And I just like that it's bursting out of him. He's got to call you
right
and tell
away.
The story.
Yeah. Just same thing with farts. He's like, I farted, and then some of it splattered. And then, I didn't need to take a shower. It wasn't that bad. I'm like, what? And then he's just like, yeah, I'm going to watch the game. I'll call you later, buddy.
Does Christina know this piece of your dad?
Oh, yeah.
She loves your dad.
She, because of her shit humor, actually.
Oh, she's into it.
She made him feel like, see, he used to say it to me like as normal, even though I would laugh. I was like,
she elevates it.
She elevates it. So she's like, you got any cool fucking fart stories? And then, yeah. That's very much the case.
What is Christmas like around your house when these two families get together?
Oh, it's insane.
You've got that's your grandma's house. That's the next installation
next one.
after my show.
It's really crazy.
So, we have any more videos out there by any chance, gentlemen? Or are we done with videos?
We're done with videos.
Okay. So, how'd you get into comedy and why? Other than what we've set up so far in terms of dad's shit stories and making mom laugh so she doesn't punch you in the face.
I've tried doing the analysis of all this stuff. Like, first of all, I feel like I remember being pretty young, meaning like middle school, and moving a lot. We moved a lot. And I remember
So that's a skill right there when you get into a new environment, be able to make people laugh and stuff.
And then when you have a few times where you make people laugh really hard, and they're like, they're not just like your close friends, but like different kids, you start to at least tell yourself that it's a skill, like that you have an ability. So I used to think of it like
a talent.
I thought it was a talent. I thought it was a talent like the same way someone could run fast or jump high.
How old were you when you realized that?
I thought I was like 9 or 10. I was like, oh, I think I have a talent for it.
And what kind of stuff were you talking about then?
It would. I can't cite things specifically like I said this, but it would be either riffs or imitations, or like at that age you're kind of like seeing an SNL skit,
right?
And then you guys are like you're doing it or kind of mimicking, recreating stuff, but then also just kind of going up on stuff on your own.
Was there some moment you had like an aha, like it was like addictive?
I did an improv sketch show when I was 14, and I had like a really good time doing it and did well with it. I remember this director, the lady who directed it, was like, "You have to get into performing, like, without a doubt." So that validated the thought that I had. And then there was a drama teacher in high school who said, like, "Why don't you take this season off of football and just do drama?" And I was like, "Why don't you kill yourself?" You know?
Yeah, I know.
Like, fucking.
Do you have one son now? Two sons?
2 sons, yeah.
Are you going to let them play football?
Of course.
Yeah, my kids play football. I played football.
Yeah.
It was so important to me. It was so important to
I
me.
love football.
And one of my sons said it was the most important thing he's ever done in terms of overcoming adversity and learning
it's so good for you.
So good for you.
Yeah, I love football, and I understand.
People's reluctance, but
yeah, of course. I mean, you know, they're chicks. So like, we're guys, and we're not stupid. So we'll do.
So all chicks are stupid? Is that what you've been telling me all the show?
mean, I think so. But then, you know, in college, I think I really wished I had gone.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to a tiny school called Lenore Ryan College in North Carolina. I wished I had gone to. In my mind, I was saying like film school, but I really wish I had been performing, you know, in some way. So I took the comm major route. So it was like radio,
communications,
TV, and then we got to make videos for our video production stuff. But people would make, you know, like very structured video, like you could maybe put on a news feed, and all my videos would be comedy videos. Because in my mind, I was like, almost like setting my, like, you know, auditioning for something, right?
You were going to send it in.
Oh yeah, I was making these like joke videos. And then as soon as I left college, I did a couple things for a few months, and I realized like, it was still like in my head, like you gotta. So I just moved to LA like a few months later.
And started doing stand-up?
Well, I moved out here. Within a few months, I signed up for the Groundlings.
Oh.
And so I really thought that I would just, it made sense to me that I would go the comedic acting route.
Yeah, made sense.
And I started taking those classes and doing them and progressing. But I met stand-ups along, because stand-up comics would sign up for those classes too. And I did not come out here ever thinking I was doing stand-up. But then once they encouraged me and showed me like how to do it, and then I did it once, then I was pretty hooked.
And what is the experience? Why is it so sticky for you? Because it's a pretty gruesome life, right? Getting out on the road and hitting some nights and some nights not. And
why is it
so sticky for you? You like it?
Oh,
why do you think you like it so much?
I mean, it's a drug. It's like an addiction.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple parts of it now, though.
Is it that it's randomly reinforcing? Like if we're reinforcing every night, it wouldn't be as addictive if some night it was you really hit and some nights not so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think a big part of it becomes your identity. Because I thought my identity before I did stand up, a big part of it was that I was funny. Mm-hmm. And so now I feel like it reinforces that part of your identity.
Of funny.
Yeah. And you're like, that is who I am. And then another part of it is like a real drive to be successful. Right. And you want to keep being successful, and you want to keep pushing that. And then
that's separate from all of this though, right? That's you.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I totally love the feeling of a new bit. It's the most addictive. Like I realize that actually when I get burned out or I start to go like, man, I don't really like stand up that much, it's always because I'm bored with what I'm saying on stage. And then you
said it too many times.
Mm-hmm. But you'll find you'll start to say like, maybe I just don't like stand up. But as soon as I come up with something new, like brand new, and I take it there and it works, it is like 1,000 orgasms.
Are you just like Terry? Are you all?
I put jokes up my asshole.
Really? Up your asshole while
I'm fucking a joke sleeve. Yeah. Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
But it does feel that like it is that it's like that's the part of it that is actually art though.
Are you like always thinking of stuff? Are you always trying to think of new stuff, or is it
no?
You go through phases.
I go through phases, and I go through phases of like I would say temporary satisfaction with where you're at with your act, and then that will fade, and you'll start to kind of be like, and then when it really goes down, when you're like, man, you realize, oh, I'm not being creative with it. Because there actually is no finale.
Do you think because you're having less enthusiasm for it, the audience is less responsive too?
I think to a degree that happens, but a lot of times it's not that you're not like, wow, that show bombed. It's that you feel like you're bored. You don't really feel like you don't go like, they really need something new that I'm not delivering, because it'll be a show they've never seen before.
Right. So they're reacting well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get involved with a human being like Bert Kreischer?
I am into philanthropy, and I am a caring individual.
So you want to help his wife because she's suffering?
With him? I think everybody is.
Well, Leanne's, I mean,
yeah.
I need to get her in here and talk to her.
I would love for you to get her in here.
Think so.
And I would love for you to get him in here. If we tie 3 of these chairs together, he could sit next to you.
Right.
Yeah. 3
chairs. But by the way, after you weigh him down with lead, he's like,
and we'll have to cut a bigger door here
to get him through.
Yeah, it'd be great.
When I saw Adam Levine with his shirt off at the Super Bowl, I thought of Bert. I thought, man.
I think Bert thought that too.
I think there's no doubt about that.
He thought like,
do you think he has the opposite of body dysmorphia? Like he has body hypermorphia?
He's kind of a Terry in a way, if you think about it.
Oh, hope not.
Well, Terry's shameless and is like, here I am.
Yeah.
Bert's like that too.
Yeah. But I feel like he had to develop into that. I think Terry just is that.
Really? You think Bert had to develop into that? I feel like that's in there.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think that like it'd be that crazy for Bert to make that same video?
God, I hope so.
I don't think it would be that hard. I think you could convince him pretty easily. I don't even think you could convince him. I think you'd be like, will you make a video with these? And he would make virtually the same video.
The steely glare you gave me in announcing that made me shiver.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because you know it's true?
It concerns me that it might be.
Yeah. I mean, if
that makes you happy.
You give him a couple pops, they would definitely do it. Yeah.
And the sleeve.
Why do you think I enjoy watching it so much?
That?
Or just in general? That stuff?
I can't figure it out yet. I have not put I have to get to know you a little bit better. I cannot figure it out.
Or just somebody doing, like, I
understand
enjoy...
you remind me, there's some people that have the talent with comedy that like torturing with their comedy.
Really?
Literally killing. Like it's a kind of, like Corolla's that way. Like he likes it when you're destroyed. You're laughing so hard you like can't breathe. You're destroyed.
Well, every comic likes that.
Not
right?
every comic likes that.
Really?
You do. Adam does. And I think that's a certain kind of talent where you can I don't know what it is you guys do, but you're able to up that. You go on whatever that
push
is.
It
You push until everyone's destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's as a consumer of your comedy, that's really fun.
Yeah.
Because it's a certain thing you rarely get to do in life is be lost. You're laughing so hard you can't stand it. And so I recognize it and appreciate it when people can do that. And you're one of those people that can do that.
Oh, thanks. I think about the fact that I really myself laugh really hard at inappropriate behavior. And I think one of my favorite formulas is the person acting inappropriately in a setting that is especially inappropriate. You know what I mean?
Like the dolls with the caveman?
Well, not more. I was thinking more like let's say somebody on a ranting and raving, saying crazy shit in a bank.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the juxtaposition.
I like that. Yeah.
It really makes me laugh.
Yeah.
That they're saying something that like you shouldn't say in public, but like now in this quiet business setting, it's even more heightened.
Yes. But you like the sexually inappropriate, the macabre sexual.
That's the best.
Is it because it's so just inexplicable?
I think, I don't know.
Because I can't quite tie it to your mom and her disgust. I know that there's sort of a little bit of a hook there.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a hook with your dad and his shit talk, which is rather good on him.
Mm-hmm.
But the sexually macabre, seems like it came later.
I think that some of that is like that Catholic.
Yeah, there you go.
Upbringing.
Tell me more about that. Did you go to Catholic school?
Oh yeah, and my parents were very Catholic.
Okay, that makes more sense to me. Because something's got to hook it into the shit talk.
I remember trying to talk, like when you're young and a boy, you want to talk about sex at a certain point and masturbating.
Yeah.
And I think you just want to know that masturbating is normal.
Yeah.
So I didn't dream of asking my mother about it.
Oh.
I mean, she was just like, you'll go to hell. She thought you'd go to hell if you look at a woman, you know? And like, if we would be watching TV and a woman was on a bikini, she'd be like, are you watching pornography?
Oh.
And I was like, it's just a woman at the beach.
Yeah.
You know? So one time I talked to my dad. I remember this. So I was trying to think of. You're nervous to bring it up.
Sure.
And I was young.
Yeah.
I was like 10. I go. I was trying to bring up how that I masturbated. And I wanted to know that it was okay. I go. I was in the shower, and I was like washing. He was like, and I go, and then I was washing like between my legs, and then all this stuff came out.
And he went, I took a big shit today.
No, he goes, next time don't wash her that long.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, that was his
sex talk with you.
That was his sex. Next time don't do it that long.
It feels like that your glee in the sexual macabre is a little bit of a fuck you to all that Catholic oppression stuff.
I think you're onto something there.
That makes some sense to me.
Yeah.
And you have glee in taking it. Really, we can't talk about masturbation. Watch where we can go.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to Terry.
I think you're right.
Caveman.
I think that is.
Let's all go. And
why am I paying a therapist when you fucking did this in like 20 seconds?
Just the comedy part. Just the comedy part.
No, I think you're totally right.
That makes sense now. And your mom's disgust and your dad's shit talk sort of sets it up as fertile territory to go. You can go all those directions because you can tolerate making somebody disgusted and you can tolerate the shit talk. It's perfect.
I'm looking for. I want to put out a comedy special.
Yeah.
That breaks my parents' heart. You know.
and get excommunicated at the same time.
It would make me
perfect.
So happy.
All right, Tom, we are about out of time.
I think it's coming. Okay.
We will leave it at that. I look forward to that comedy special. And again, thank you again for letting me do this.
Thank you. You're the
real
best,
privilege.
Man.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Again, subscribe, review us on iTunes. Check us out at youtube.com/Your Mom's House Podcast on Fridays at noon when the video drops. And, like I said previously, send in your voicemails, send in your emails to drafterdark@gmail.com. Send in your video questions, macabre video that I can begin collecting and then send on over to Your Mom's House once it's been sanitized and making sure. I think now you learned that you really want to make Tom laugh, make sure like there's like religious iconography in it, and he will laugh his ass off. I'll see you next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.